time to get started adding our oil pastels to our Starry Night. We can look at Vincent van Gogh's and make sure you get nice and close so you can see the different colors that he used when he made his painting. Remember, we're using oil pastels, so I'm going to grab a couple of those. Also remember, it's a lot easier to darken than it is to lighten, so my recommendation is to start with the white. And I already have some of it on my paper. You can see that I started here in the middle. You can start wherever you want, and I'm working on those little swirly lines. And I'm going to start just by making some short little lines, just like the brush strokes he may have made with his paintbrush. But I'm going to take my time. That's the key today. Take your time. And I'm going to get those little strokes all around here, following those crayon lines that I made earlier. And then I'm going to start going outside the crayon lines. You can see that I had that crayon line that went around like this, and then I filled in all that space. And that's what I'm going to do too. I'm going to use that crayon line as a guideline, and I'm just going to start adding those short little lines that we talked about and filling them in. And they're going to overlap, and eventually it might look like a blob because this is paint, right? But that's okay, because we are going to just keep working with this color and some of the other colors in the background. If you remember, we talked about those cool colors, the blues, the purple, the green. We can add a little bit of that. And we're just using those short, little tiny lines like that. And I have it like that. Now I can add a little bit of blue to it. Let me find my blue. I can start adding some blue. And again, I'm going to be very careful how much blue I add. Now, if you look, and we're trying to mimic his a little bit, it is lighter in these swirls than it is in the background. So I'm in the swirls. I don't want to add too much blue, just a little bit. And once I get some of those lines in there, I'm going to go ahead and start going right on top of that to lighten them up some with the white. And I'm still going to use those little tiny lines like this. And that's a good start here. I'm not going to have you watch me do the whole thing, but you can see in this one, I even added a little bit of purple. Vincent van Gogh doesn't put that in his that I can see, but you can see in this white area, we talked about how there are some warm colors in there too. But they're all in certain areas, like inside the moon here is where those are. So we are going to limit our warm colors to those areas also. And you can see when I got up and looked really closely, there was just a tad bit of brown in there. So I added just a little teeny bit of brown. You're going to have to be very careful to just add a little bit. And I just want you to work on a little bit at a time. We are going to work on